everyone. My name is Dwayne Kimball, owner and founder of KMD 89 VA Claims Consulting, Leave No Vet Behind, and also I'm a United States Army veteran. Today I'm bringing you another educational video as it pertains to the VA disability compensation claims process. And today I'm going to be discussing a particular VA form, and I'm going to be talking about lay evidence, okay? So the form that I'm going to be talking about today is the VA form 21-4138. It's also known as Statement of Claim, okay? So I'm going to bring it up on the screen right now and let you see what it looks like. So again, this is the VA form 21-4138, Statement in Support of Claim. And as you can see, it's a very basic document with basic information. Is asking for your name, social security number, date of birth, telephone number, and mailing address. And this form can be used for many things when you're submitting evidence to the VA. So if you look at section 2, the remarks, this is the main part of the form where you may be doing requesting to add dependents along with a dependent form, and also adding some lay evidence as well, okay? So one thing to keep in mind, this form cannot, and I repeat, it cannot be used as a prescribed form, okay? A prescribed form is an actual formal claim form. This is not a prescribed or a formal claim form, okay? So you want to keep that in mind. Section 2, the remarks section, is where you're going to put your lay evidence or anything that you need to write pertaining to your claim or request, something of that nature, okay? So let's move to page number 2 of the VA form 21-4138. It's still section 2, continued, okay? It just gives you more room to write whatever you're writing, and then you have the signature block and then the date. So you always want to make sure that you sign and date any VA form that you submit. So that's page, what I just showed you is page 1 and page 2 of this particular form. Now you may ask yourself, well, why am I talking about this particular form? Okay, well, I get a question about the form and what lay evidence is, okay? So this form can be used for many reasons. You can actually submit this along with a prescribed form. Let's just say, for example, you're submitting a VA form 21-526, and there's not enough room to explain all the conditions that you're claiming and why you're claiming them and how you're claiming them. You can put on the VA form 526, VA form 21-526EZ in the disability section, please see attached VA form 21-4138. And this is something I did with my claim. I wanted to add lay evidence as it pertains to each condition that I was claiming, okay? And I listed everything that I was claiming, how I was claiming it, if I was claiming on direct basis or secondary, or was it increase, what my symptoms were. I put this all on the 4138, okay? Now, years ago, you used to submit the VA form 21-4138 as a claim form, but now you can't. It has to be on a prescribed form. So you can submit this form with the 526CZ or VA form 20-0995 or dependent form or aid in attendance form, housebound, VA form 21-8940 for IU. Just as I always call it an extra sheet of paper. Remember when you was in high school or grade school and you always had to, on the math test, you could have 2 scratch pieces of paper to show you your arithmetic, the long form. So this is, I call it, it's not called an extra sheet of paper. This is just what I call it. but you could use it for those reasons. Now, lay evidence. What is considered lay evidence? Lay evidence is information from the veteran or someone that is not considered a medical professional or didn't have certain medical training that provides symptoms or anything surrounding the condition that you're claiming. That's just a short version of it, okay? One thing, when I did my claim, I didn't get long-winded on my lay evidence. I kept it direct and to the point. So let's just say you're claiming migraine headaches, or you're claiming an increase in migraine headaches. You can say something to the fact that I'm claiming an increase in my service-connected migraine headaches. I now have the following symptoms, and you list those symptoms, and they could take that as subjective evidence because the veteran is competent to give, lay evidence of his symptoms, diagnosis. Now, it may need to be confirmed, but that's something that you could put on this particular form, on the VA form 21-4138. But most importantly, I want you to remember that this form cannot, I repeat, it cannot be used as a formal claim form or prescribed form, okay? If you submit this form and you put on there, you submit it by itself and you say, I want to claim this, I'm claiming an increase in this, or I'm claiming this condition secondary to my service-connected condition, you're going to get what they call an RFA letter, a request for application, and they're going to tell you you did not submit your claim on a prescribed or formal claim form. Please complete the following claim form, and they may send you a VA form 21-526 or a VA form 20-0995 or even a VA form 20-0996 or whatever, for whatever you're claiming. It could be add dependents, it could be housebound, aid and attendance, something like that. So if you submit it on this form, they're going to send you an RFA letter, request for application. So definitely keep that in mind, because that could prolong your claim, because from the time that you send it in, it could be 30, 60 days before somebody reviews it. They review it, they send you a form, that's another 30, 60 days. Then you complete the prescribed or formal claim form, you submit that, and that could be another 30, 60 days. So you're already looking at a possible 6 months. So we want to make sure you get it right and submit the correct form. So I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on the lay evidence. Like I said, when I did my claim, I provided a lay testimony, a lay evidence, which they consider to be me. It's considered the vet competent to provide this information. On my first time, it was very long. I filled this form out. I filled the first page and the second page completely, just writing my lay testimony or providing lay evidence. It was too much, okay, because somebody could read that and 10 people can read it and come up, and every individual will come up with something different. Interpret something totally different. So you want to make sure that it's direct and to the point. I cannot stress that enough. When I rated claims, veterans would send this particular form in, and they would send in like 2 second pages because it was just additional information. And it was very confusing, and it needed to be, a lot of times needed to be clarified. So just keep that in mind. If you're providing lay evidence, think about the condition you're claiming, okay? Migraines, to go back to migraines. If it's affecting your employment, that's something that you want to include. It doesn't have to be an entire paragraph. It could just be a sentence or two of how your migraines affect your work. How often do you have to take off work due to migraines? Do you have FMLA? Have you been granted FMLA due to migraines? And that's for every condition. But again, you want to keep it short, simple, direct, and to the point. You don't want to confuse anybody at the VA, because those employees are on quotas and they're looking through tons and tons of information, okay? Now, One last thing as it pertains to the VA Form 21-4138. Your spouse, your parents, your siblings, they can complete the same form on your behalf, okay, and submit it. Again, and if they submit it, it doesn't, they obviously they're not going to submit a formal claim form. You do that, but they can. This is something that they can write on as well. A lot of people just use a sheet of paper and write on a sheet of paper, but I've seen where most vets they use this VA Form 21-4138, where someone else is explaining how a certain condition that the veteran is claiming, what they see, how it affects the veteran, and they're just giving a background of what they know, and they put it on this form. Again, if those individuals, if your parents or wife or children or whomever completes it, again, you want to keep it short and simple and direct to the point, because you don't want to lose the person that's reading it or reviewing it. You want to make sure you highlight the key points of it. And again, as in my other videos, I always say you got to be educated. So whatever condition you're claiming, you want to go to that rating schedule and look to see, what criteria is the qualifications or the prerequisites of the criteria for 0, 10, 20, 30, 40%, or whatever the evaluation is, and see where you fall. And then you can talk to it when you're providing lay evidence on the 4138, and it makes it easier and it's not as long and drawn out. So I had a lot of success when I used this form, especially I think it was on appeal. Yeah, I did. I won my appeal in 10 months. Back before you had to submit things on prescribed form, I claimed an increase in a particular condition. 2 years later, they granted the increase for that condition, but the effective date was incorrect. And you probably heard me talk about this in some of my other videos. In this particular form, I asked for that increase for that service-connected condition. So when I got to my appeal hearing, I knew exactly what form I submitted requesting the increase, and this form was date stamped by the VA. I took it to the VA and they date stamped it, meaning that it gives a location, a 3-digit number of their location, and the date and time that you submitted it to the VA. And this was in my claim form, and that's how I won the effective date on appeal. And they had to go back like 2 years. Okay, but now could I do that? Could I submit a high-level review? It's no longer called appeals, but a high-level review like that now? No, you would need a VA Form 20-0996. Now, with that being said, I've seen some of my clients submit a 0996, and on there they say, please see attached VA Form 21-4138 for the explanation of details. And on that form they list, why they're doing a high-level review, which rating decision they disagree with, which rating condition they disagree with, or the effective date, or whatever. And I've seen it go through. Didn't get kicked back saying that the form the 0996 was incomplete. But then some other clients of mine did it the same exact way, and some regional offices kicked it back. Now, one may ask, well, why is that? I can't really give a full explanation because I don't know. One regional office, they may say, yeah, you can do it that way, and another regional office says that you can't. So you may have to just cross that bridge when you get to it. But by all means, if everything can fit on that 0996, then go that route. But if you're giving a little bit more explanation, a little bit more detail, using some M21 references or 38 CFR regulations, and you're explaining a little bit more in detail, then the 4138 would be the way to go. But just keep in mind, depending on which regional office it goes to, if you're doing a high-level review and you say, please see attached VA Form 21-4138, they may or may not kick it back. I've seen some regional offices that didn't and some that did. Again, why? Have no clue. But that being said, I just wanted to do this video. Someone, I believe in Jacksonville, Florida, asked me to do a video on the statement of support of claim and talk about lay evidence and just give some examples. So I hope I was able to answer that person's question, and you found this video to be educational as it pertains to the VA compensation claims process. And again, make sure you become educated on this process. If you're just starting out or you're going in for an increase or whatever, you still need to be educated. And if you haven't done so, please sign up for my live Q&A on how to be successful on the VA claims process. It's free, and I offer it the last Friday of every month. I'll put the link in the description section down below. And also, I provide educational training that's a minimum of 4 hours the first Wednesday and the first Saturday of every month. The next one is coming up July 11th. I'll leave that link in the description section down below. The Q&A, we're on there. I think this last time we were on for about an hour. People just asking questions about the VA claims process. But the educational training session, I go really deep into some of the basic areas of the VA claims process. So again, I'm going to leave both in the description section below. If you're in between months in the training, you can always go to my website at kmd89.com. That's kmd89.com, Kilo Mike Delta 89.com. Look under either the calendar or the training session. You'll see about more like they're always listed in the calendar section. The links are provided there. You click on it, and it'll take you right to the event page where you can sign up. Okay, and by all means, if you have any questions about either the live Q&A or the educational training, please reach out to me, shoot me an email, or just give me a call at my 800 number that's on my website. So again, I would like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it very educational. So please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification button so you can get notified of upcoming videos, and always share this video, okay? So leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the video, and if it's a certain topic that you want me to talk about, please free to leave it in the comment section. But if it's something that go into detail in the educational training, I'd leave that piece of it for the educational training, okay? So, hey, I hope everyone is continuing to be safe in this whole COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for your service, and I look for you in one of my educational videos. And please make sure you hit the notification button so you get notified when I upload a new video. Take care and enjoy the holiday weekend.